It's 20 minutes to 2 o'clock. You're watching the Midday View on ANC DSTV channel 403. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, for the past few days, Twitter has been engaged in an interesting discussion about rape and consent, especially where men are concerned. This follows the publishing of some screen grabs on the site in which a woman claims she's pregnant following a one-night stand with Tumi Mooi, popularly known as DJ Dimples. The DJ is said to have been heavily intoxicated that evening. He has since laid charges against the woman. Let's speak about this now with Martin Pelders from Matrix Men, an organization that raises awareness about the effects of sexual abuse of men. Martin, good afternoon. This is a very serious issue of male rape, and each time it comes up, some people will sort of be cynical and say, but I mean, really, and some people will laugh it off, because GBV in our country, gender-based violence, is predominantly male against female, and sometimes, you know, children. In this particular case, my first question to you, how prevalent is male rape in South Africa? Rape of men by other men, rape of men by other women, by women.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for the time on your show. Well, the prevalence of male rape in this country is not well known at all. It's not a topic that's been researched. It's not something that the SAPS will differentiate in terms of reporting. So when you report a rape, it's just classified as a rape. It's not broken down into gender. So the truth is that we don't know. We don't know how bad it is. What I can tell you is that in terms of young boys that are sexually abused or raped in South Africa, we're looking at 44% of all boys by the age of 18. 10% of all boys will be sexually abused in some way, shape, or form each year in this country. Yeah, in fact, in higher proportions than girls.
They will be abused by either a woman or a man by the time they are 18.
By the time they're 18, I'll give you a breakdown, Dan. So 41% of the boys will have suffered penetration by females, by older women. 27% of them would be raped by male and female, and 32% of them would be raped by men.
I mean, that's very serious. Those are very serious numbers. Why is it that we don't take it seriously? Because why I'm saying that, we have stats about rape, as you said, in a globally way, but we assume that that number applies only to female survivors of sexual abuse and rape.
Yeah, we don't know why. We think there's, you know, we'd like to come up with these theories of there's an agenda, it's a feminist agenda, and they hate us and all that sort of thing. Truth of the matter is that men have always been seen to be powerful and dominant, and people can't perceive of a man as a victim. So we're supposed to be strong enough to defend ourselves. We are supposed to be able to defend people off. But that's not always true. You know, I know of young men that have been raped by 4 or 5 people. Gang initiation rape is prevalent, so you'll get a gang of 10 people would initiate a young boy into the gang, and 10 of them would rape him. So yeah, there's this concept that men are able to defend themselves and to fight them off, but that's not always
and also,
true.
I mean,
especially when it comes to female perpetration.
Yes, like this particular case, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter. When I was speaking to a couple of young ladies. Yeah, we'll talk about that now very quickly. When I was preparing for this interview, and I chatted to a couple of my female colleagues here at ENCA, and I mean, one of the points that came out was that their impression is from the outside that men would not speak up, would not talk about it, because, as you said, a man is supposed to be strong. I mean, when we are brought up, I was brought up and told, no, you know, Indo Daikali, don't cry, you're a man, you know, be strong. And so you won't go there and speak up. And some cases I've heard people say when they go to the police station, I mean, a guy comes in and says, I've been raped, the policemen, they just laugh at you.
That's true. We've had incidences of that too, where a young boy of 16 went in and said he was raped by 5 men, and they laughed at him and they said, "Go home, CC." They called him CC.
Now on this, yeah, that's terrible. And this is a very serious situation we're facing, because for me, tells me it feeds into this ongoing pandemic of the GBV, you know, that we have in this country. Because if you're a young boy and you've been raped and you're not getting support, you might think this is a normal way of behaving and do it to other people. That's just, I'm not a psychologist, but just an assumption I'm making as a human being. Now, in this particular case, I understand now the lady in question, according to the tweets, is now pregnant, and this DJ is now laying charges against the woman. Have you had similar cases from Matrix Men where there's been success, where a man has actually laid a charge of rape against a woman who might be pregnant, and now he's saying, but you are the father of the child?
We haven't had any successes because, to be honest, men just don't report. They would rather avoid it, suffer in silence. We've had men that have committed suicide because of this sort of thing. So we've had a man who was date raped and drugged by a woman. She then started claiming paternity and all sorts of things, and he was then she was trying to force him into paying for the child. When finally he got the courage and he actually told his wife about everything, and initially his wife didn't believe him, but she finally did and supported him. But it became too much. The man was so ashamed, and he actually took his own life. Left behind a loving wife and 2 children because of that sort of thing.
Tragic.
So tragedies do happen. Sadly, we haven't had a prosecution in this country. It's going to be something that's really hard to
So I guess from Matrix Man, as we conclude very briefly, you'll be tracking this DJ Dimplex story that's been playing itself out on social media to see where it's going to go. We're going to have to watch it and see, because male rape is a serious, serious issue in the country. Thank you very much, Martin Peldas from Matrix Man here on the Midday View. I guess as a man myself, I'm going to be, besides just doing my work in the media here, I'm just going to have to track and see what happens here with this DJ Dimplex story, because the power dynamics and social relations, and in a patriarchal society like ours, and where there's a GBV pandemic, very, very interesting. They play themselves out in all sorts of ways.